Hey basketball guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. Last season, Brandin Podziemski was considered one of the favorites of Warriors fans. Brandin Podziemski was considered non-negotiable by Warriors owner Joe Lacob, but this season he has Brandin Podziemski. He has been frustrating and is about to be traded by the Warriors. The Golden State Warriors are predicted to part ways with second-year guard Brandin Podziemski, previously reported as untouchable, in a potential blockbuster trade for Miami Heat star Jimmy Butler. Chris Mannix of Sports Illustrated made that bold prediction on the December 18 episode of The Bill Simmons podcast. "I could see Golden State taking a swing," Mannix said. Like Golden State and Denver are the two teams that aren't all that concerned about Jimmy Butler next year. It's all about this year. You want to maximize a window. If Golden State can get him for some combination of Andrew Wiggins and Brandin Podziemski, then you'd probably jump at that if you're the Warriors. The Warriors are among the 4 teams in Butler's preferred list of destinations if the Heat are to trade him. And they have the combination of picks, young players, mid-size and expiring contracts to entice the Heat. The latest trade intel on Butler, per ESPN's Bobby Marks, is that the Heat have no urgency to trade the 6-time NBA All-Star who led them twice to the NBA Finals over the last 4 years. As for Butler's future, there is a growing consensus among the teams I talked to that unless the 6-time All-Star becomes a distraction, or the Heat receive a trade offer they cannot turn down, Butler will be on the Heat's roster once the deadline passes, Marks wrote on December 23. The 35-year-old Butler will be declining his $52.4 million player option for next season, according to ESPN's Shams Charania, which makes him a flight risk for any team that would trade for him mid-season. The Heat star is seeking a 2-year, $110 million extension. Underscore 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 underscore. Warriors overvalued Brandin Podziemski. Bill Simmons said the Warriors overvalued Podziemski when they kept him off the trade talks in their failed pursuits of Paul George and Lauri Markkanen in the offseason. "I think it was one of the lessons of the summer," Simmons said on his podcast. That, the Warriors, making Podziemski basically untouchable, and he's just been really bad this year. Not totally as expletive, he's playing out of position, but he hasn't been good. The Warriors made that decision based on Podziemski's stellar rookie year when he supplanted Klay Thompson from the starting lineup on his way to becoming an all-rookie first team. However, Podziemski had a nightmare start to his sophomore season, and his decision-making was even questioned by Warriors coach Steve Kerr. But since Simmons made the interesting comment, Podziemski has started to turn things around, which coincided with Dennis Schroeder's arrival from the Brooklyn Nets via trade. Over the Warriors' last 2 games, the 21-year-old Podziemski averaged 16.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 2.0 steals, while shooting 63.6% from the field and 50% from the three-point line. Underscore 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 underscore. Backlash over bizarre Steph Curry comment. Podziemski faced a backlash among the Warriors fans following his poorly framed comment to Kerr's admonishment of the Warriors' young players to learn how to play with Stephen Curry, the franchise's longtime cornerstone. "I don't really think. I just play," Podziemski told reporters. "When I'm out there, if I'm open, I shoot it. If not, make a play." I don't really think too much into I know we have Steph Curry on the court. If he's open, I'm going to throw the ball to him. I don't really look too deep into those messages. The criticisms from the fans led Podziemski to issue a statement on X to set the record straight. To clarify and for further context. Steph is Steph, and I've been very open with my respect for him on and off the court. He's a legend and a GOAT, for a reason, Podziemski said in the statement he posted on X on Sunday, December 22. On the court, you have to be cautious against overthinking every possession. You have to trust your work, do what the coaches want you to do, and make a good IQ play, he continued. At times, that's a pass, taking a shot, or even making a good screen to free up a teammate. So you just play and work to make good decisions consistently. A lot of times, that will end up being passing the ball to a wide-open Steph and/or teammate when the opportunity is there and just doing whatever it takes to help the team win. The Warriors' big trade decision that doesn't involve Jimmy Butler. The Warriors are still looking to improve their roster. Jimmy Butler has been on the Golden State Warriors' radar, and it seems to be a mutual interest between the two parties. The Warriors have already upgraded their roster by trading for Dennis Schroeder, and there's a chance that they could be looking to make some more changes that don't involve Butler, according to Mark Stein. After swiftly addressing its need for a secondary scorer behind Stephen Curry with Sunday's acquisition of Dennis Schroeder, Golden State is still evaluating its own center rotation, sources say. The Warriors have famously filled minutes with defensive savant Draymond Green at the 5 spot, Stein wrote. And while Steve Kerr is known to hold great affinity for Kevin Looney, Golden State's veteran center has garnered plenty of early interest from around the league, sources say, as the Warriors consider whether or not to add another piece to a rotation that also features standout sophomore Tracy Jackson-Davis. Before ceding the role back to Looney recently, Jackson-Davis started 18 games this season, Stein continued. Looney has been a big part of the Warriors' success through the past few seasons, but Jackson-Davis has shown some flashes while on the court. Green has also started playing more minutes at center, and if they're fine with that rotation, Looney could be the odd man out. On the other hand, the Warriors could be looking to upgrade their center position with someone who could stretch the floor like Nikola Vucevic, who has also been in trade rumors. Will the Warriors make more moves to upgrade roster? It's evident that the Warriors are trying to get better, and acquiring Dennis Schroeder was a big move in itself. The guard can either start alongside Stephen Curry, or he can come off the bench and play a sixth-man role. It doesn't seem like they're done adding to their roster either, as they seem to still be one of the top teams interested in Jimmy Butler. There will have to be a lot of moving parts to get that deal done, and it may require adding Andrew Wiggins to the deal to match the money. Jonathan Kuminga could also be the centerpiece of the deal, especially since the Warriors did not extend him before the season started. If the Warriors are serious about adding a third star and they believe that Butler is the guy, they're going to be aggressive and do whatever it takes to get a deal done. What proposed trade would be a massive mistake for Golden State? By Jonah Kubicek. Athlon Sports updated December 23, 2024, 12:31 p.m. Amid their 3-6 slide after Thanksgiving, the Golden State Warriors have fallen from 1st to 7th in the Western Conference. With recent struggles causing some panic, the Dubs are expected to make another move before the NBA trade deadline after adding Dennis Schroeder. How big of a deal they will make remains yet to be seen. The Warriors have been linked to superstars and role players alike, and mock trades have been all over the place this season. One proposed deal comes very close to being ideal for Golden State before being taken a step too far. On Sunday, Newsweek's Matt Levine floated an idea that would bring in Kyle Kuzma and Jonas Valanciunas in exchange for Andrew Wiggins, Kevin Looney, Lindy Waters III, a 2025 first-round draft pick, and a 2031 second-round draft pick. While adding Valanciunas makes a lot of sense to address the Warriors' size concerns, swapping Wiggins for Kuzma is not an ideal trade. First of all, Wiggins is a better defender. On top PF that, his shooting from three-point range has been exactly what the Warriors need this season, and Kuzma is not as efficient and would take looks away from Stephen Curry and Buddy Hield. Plus, losing a pick in the loaded 2025 draft class could hinder the Warriors' options this summer. Ideally, they will land another high-quality young player in the draft, and 2025 picks are worth a lot with such a deep class coming up. Related, why Warriors injury report matters versus Pacers. If the Warriors do strike a deal with the Washington Wizards, adding Valanciunas makes a lot of sense, but for now, Golden State should hold on to Wiggins and avoid adding Kuzma, who hasn't lived up to the hype this year after being a popular trade target last season.